So here I am today with my old friend and mentor, David.
Morning.
We're at Tyne Green in Hexham, and you can see down by the river the Egger factory is billowing. Well, it's not smoke, it's actually steam. Billowing steam out, and lorries and cars and vans are coming across the bridge. And we're going to go for a walk down the river, up the River Tyne, not to the point where it splits into the South and the North Tyne, but on such a beautiful day we've got a real treat ahead of us.
Oh, we're looking forward to it very much.
And so are the dogs.
So are the dogs.
Yeah, Maury's here. Hello, Maury. And Fina's here. Fina's a bit indifferent. Fina! She just likes leaves falling. But there we go. We're going to have a nice day. We can't bark quite as loud, which is a good thing.
So do you let them off at all?
It's just a bit too risky, David, to be fair.
Yeah. So now,
but look,
the thing you've got there, is it filming in front and from behind?
It's filming in front and behind, yeah. Right. And what I'll get when I download the clips is a file, and I can scroll all 360 degrees of it.
Right.
So even though the camera's pointing at you
can see the river, can it?
It can see the river, yeah, and it can see all of the river.
Right.
I mean, physically I could turn the camera like this, but I don't need to.
Yeah.
And it's
so almost... how new an innovation is this?
Well,
is it something which is fairly
difficult to
unique?
say, really? It's fairly unique. No, quite. And I don't think it's been popularised in the way that, say, the GoPro cameras were 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Those are sort of action cameras that you would wear on your body, or on your head when you're skiing or mountain biking, or scuba diving. There's all manner of different accessories which pretty much access all types of outdoor fun.
Yeah.
But no, I guess these have been popularised the last. So I'll be able to get a picture of me picking up Maury's poo now. Do you want to just take it? Do you mind?
And how much is this bit of kit then?
It's about, that was about £350.
Really?
Which, it's not a fortune.
Yeah.
They sort of market it as a film crew in your pocket.
Right, yeah.
If you've got a film crew out...
Yeah. Do you want me to hold the dogs while you do that?
You've got a film crew out to film us today.
Yeah.
It would cost you tens of thousands.
Yeah.
But the quality of the product is...
Isn't it?
It's quite remarkable, really.
Yeah.
I went for a walk with Michael yesterday afternoon because he's very interested in it. He's actually thinking of getting one for Scottish rugby. But, we went out yesterday afternoon, stunning afternoon, and came back, edited it. It's just beautiful. Yeah.
That was very good of the dogs to poo right by the bin. Very good of the dog to poo right by the bin.
Oh, you can't complain at them when they got manners like that, can you? Excellent.
So what are its applications then?
Well, this is something that I'm just starting to explore, really, because bearing in mind the sort of situation I'm in at the moment, I'm thinking, well, as you do when you're thinking about careers early. Well, you don't think about it, do you? And that's the thing, but you should. The perfect job or way of earning money is to do something you really enjoy, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And get paid for it. And that's why being a cricketer would be a great job, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
for Sport England, Phil.
Yeah, exactly. As you well, no, to be fair, you're absolutely right. But as you get older, you start to know yourself a bit better. You start to know what you like and don't like, or want and don't want.
Yeah.
And ultimately, you think, wouldn't it be great if I could do that? Well, at this time, I start to think about what I want and don't want, and like and don't like. And one of the things that I like is getting out, now I can, with my knee having been done, is getting out and walking with the dogs. Now, I like technology. I like people, I like talking, I like all those things. Could I combine those things in some way of generating income? And so I've seen this series, Winter Walks, where I've seen these cameras used, and I've seen the quality of the product, and I've started to think, maybe we could just sort of explore that, with a view to saying to, I don't know, a couple, for example,
or that lady you met, that walking group.
Exactly, absolutely.
That walking group, and they could divvy up the speed. Absolutely. And they can record it for posterity.
Yeah, exactly. Or
there are loads of
there's a million. Yeah, absolutely there are.
Caution.
Well, I'm going down to the Cotswolds on Monday to do my Cotswold walk. Well, there's 40 guys on that walk. If I were to give them all a 30-minute edited version of our walk, that would be wonderful. I mean, they've kept photographs over the years. I mean, we meet at a Neolithic burial chamber at 12 o'clock for the sort of team photo. But team video, I would say, could be quite attractive, really. But it could be all manner of things, David, really, couldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, you're right, but...
Morning.
Morning. What's that?
Well, you were just talking about it, actually. It's a new sort of camera which shoots 360 degrees. So it's looking at you at the moment with one lens, but it's also looking directly behind us. And when I get home, I'll be able to scroll through the 360 degrees and choose which sort of image I want. I'm cold, but the nice thing is that the selfie stick that it's held on disappears. It doesn't appear on the footage. So they describe it as having a film crew in your pocket.
Would it be photographing our...
Yeah, absolutely it would. Yeah, absolutely it would. And I'm just talking to my friend here about the potential opportunities to almost earn a little bit of money. If I were to go walking, for example, with yourselves, you might say, well, happy to pay you £50 for an hour long.
Anything?
Sorry?
Does it record conversations?
It records conversations, so well, yeah, exactly. But you can edit that conversation out.
Is it expensive?
We're just talking about Newcastle.
Oh well.
Listen, if you're going to meet a couple of young ladies in here, you better watch
What about if you're meeting them?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, but
you never know your luck.
I bet you have some brilliant walks.
But that's as far as it ever goes.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks a bit unusual.
It does. It does. Yeah. The only time the stick appears is if it's in a shadow.
Right, yeah.
So if the sun were to shine brightly today, there'd be a shadow of me down there, and you would see the camera in the shadow. But you don't see it anywhere else. It really is remarkable.
He's a very clever lad.
Amazon, they're available online. But I'll tell you what there is, and this is what gave me the inspiration.
Yeah.
You're probably familiar with BBC iPlayer.
Does it turn itself around?
Well, basically, what it does, it stitches the two video clips together. So I don't need to do anything other than hold it up in the air.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's doing all the work for me. I do a bit of editing, choose the angles when I get home. But no, there's a series.
He's one of the leading analysts in cricket in the country.
What? Sorry?
He's one of the leading analysts for cricket in the country.
Yeah.
He won't say that, but he's a very clever boy.
I'm not so sure.
I bought, I think, Alexi.
Okay,
You can get it to put your radio on.
Voice controlled.
Dimmer lights.
Well, this is
sort of thing.
This is voice controlled, so you can see.
My granddaughter told me about it, so.
You can see that red light is flashing there. Well, if I say stop recording.
I see. Immediate interest.
Well, that's proof of the pudding, I suppose, isn't it?
It's a very, very interesting impromptu conversation.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, even if it doesn't sort of grow legs from a business point of view, I think it's the sort of thing that Michael and I could maybe take on as a bit of a side hustle. I mean, I've been talking to him about the need to do a little bit of work outside of his day job, as it were, just to keep himself developing.
Just to interrupt you, look at those blokes over there. I mean, how can they possibly putt on that sort of surface?
Well, with their hands as cold as they probably are.
How ridiculous is that?
Yeah.
And they've got trolleys, buggies rather.
Well, that's to carry their coffee and breakfast.
No, but if you look, what would you? If you look at the business plan,
Yeah.
you know, so there must be in sort of a 20-mile radius of Ryton.
Oh, some wonderful walks.
How many walking groups would there be?
Well, absolutely.
So your market would be walking groups. It would be families, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know, imagine if you're going out to propose to your girlfriend. You know, take something like this, and you've got a memory of everything leading up to it, everything after the event. Yeah, and the event itself.
Stick it in the ground while you're in the bonk.
Well, David, I shall have to edit that. But that's a good thing. You can, you know. So, yeah. Honestly, you do bring the tone of the conversation down, don't you?
Yeah, edit that out, Phil. I don't want that against my name forever. Yeah, so it's identifying what your market is.
Yeah.
Then what you charge and how do you advertise.
Absolutely.
I think it's a bloody good idea. I really do.
Hello, Dave. How are you, mate? You okay?
Yeah. Sorry to leave it. I'll catch you tomorrow. Yeah, see you. Bye.
How are you, Dave?
Not bad, you?
Good. Yes, not too bad. Not too
What are
bad.
you doing in this neck of the woods?
Well, just bring him up. Oi. Just bring it. Oi.
You've got a lot to say.
Oh, yeah, none of it makes any sense. A bit like me. Dave, this is another Dave.
Oh, hi.
An old friend.
Hello, hi.
David is a sort of long-time mentor and friend who I used to work with at Sport England back in the day, probably 20, 25 years ago. His daughter lives just north of Corbridge on the 68.
Yeah.
So we're meeting up for a walk, and
Good.
we're using this thing, which is it's a 360-degree camera.
Yeah.
So it's filming you,
Okay.
but it's also filming the river, and over there, and over there.
You always got a new gadget to play with.
I love my gadgets, as you know. But yeah, he's still at the university?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I guess you
doing
just-
lacrosse in the summer.
Oh, really? Did you?
I'm still helping them out, but I'm not coaching anymore.
Right. So have they got full-time coach?
No.
Right.
I'm basically planning practices with them, and they're going to deliver them. So
Okay.
It's not ideal, so I'll
Right.
have a coach in place in the summer.
Right. Has that impacted at all on the standards, or because you know you were the top? Certainly the girls were the top.
Yeah. A little bit. I mean, they lost for the first time in 7 years.
Did they?
The other week.
Oh wow.
But
Who to? Nottingham?
Nottingham.
Oh, right.
But I wasn't there because I had COVID 2 weeks ago, so I was meant to be on the sideline helping them out.
Right.
What sport is this?
Lacrosse. Yeah.
So it all fell apart a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the key games I still go and coach on the sideline. But yeah, it just puts pressure on the captains, which it's a different dynamic with the teammates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's far from ideal, but they have enough talent to win again.
Yeah. Well, they've always recruited well from good schools, haven't they?
Yeah.
You know, and I guess it almost just repeats every year.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to play lacrosse, go to Durham University. Yeah, and I don't know quite how many you have these days, Dave, but you have quite a lot of overseas scholars as well, don't you?
We usually have about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
3 this year.
Yeah. So Dave or Quentin probably would go to the States and go to some of the Ivy League universities.
You get told off again. There you go. Serves you right, you dummy.
My dogs have got no.
So where did you work at the Northeast office in Sporting?
No. I'm a southerner. We worked in Bedford.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Initially, and then we worked on cricket projects when I came back up to the northeast.
So who was the fellow that was it might have been you that was running the office, but because I used to live in Hitchin in St Albans, and it was Chris.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, he was my boss.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
David was my boss,
right,
and Chris was David's boss.
So what did you do at Sport England?
Made the tea. Made the tea.
Because
that was years ago. Gosh. Initially, when I went to the Eastern region, I ran a project called Action Sport, which was 10 sort of urban-based activities across the region. Because the Eastern region was a really diverse region, wasn't it? I mean, we had places like.
You had the far end of nowhere in Suffolk and Norfolk.
Absolutely, yeah. And then inner city Luton and Watford and places like that. So it really was odd. But I moved back to the northeast, which was then the north, because we had Cumbria as part of our region, probably 1990.
Right.
And I picked up a really diverse portfolio then. So I picked up the sort of lead on performance and excellence, which is why I've always been interested in sort of elite sport.
So was Simon McQueen coming into the office when you guys were still there?
Simon McQueen?
Simon McQueen.
No, it's not a name I know.
So he came into when Chris was still there, but he's like, I wouldn't say he's number one at Sport England now. I think he's number 2.
Okay, right. Because Chris moved, didn't he, David? Chris moved to the northwest.
Well, he went to the LTA.
He did. You're right.
He was sort of quite high up in the LTA. When he finished his working life, didn't he, with the LTA?
Did he? Didn't he move to the northwest though? Didn't he become director of the northwest region?
No. He lives up around here somewhere. I mean, I've lost touch with him. He lives.
Manchester.
Chris was Hitchin based as well, wasn't he? He was around
Hitchin.
Hitchin.
Where did Chris Clark live? The other side of
he lived
Bedford?
He lived just up the road from the office. In,
right.
Little villages.
Yeah.
Oakley or something like that.
That's right. Yeah, hard to believe. Nearly 30.
Well, I used to work for the governing body for lacrosse before I moved to Durham.
Oh, did you? Right.
So I was writing.
But you were
sport plans every 4 years.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we've been in the same business, running sort of parallel to each other, haven't we? Really? Yeah. Well, Dave, good to see you.
Exactly. I thought you didn't actually meet him, you just weighed him. And if they were.
Yeah. There's probably a bit of truth in that as well, I'm afraid.
Must be good.
There's exactly.
Anyway, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
We'll see you, Dave.
Yep,
Take care. Bye.